all in the city, and all of a sudden everything has just gone to shit. Where once there was relief and joy mixed with sadness as people are kind of rebuilding some small damage, grieving over loved ones who have been killed in these small guerrilla warfare attacks, these small targeted strikes in the city, when all of a sudden the alarm bells all across the city go off again. Swifty, as you kind of heft this weapon just before the alarms start to go off, you feel it's like, again, this kind of like weird sense of like, evil's not the right word, but dread almost, like a bit of just, it's menacing to hold, but it feels powerful. This is a maul. It is a +1 weapon. It has a d12 damage dice, plus an additional 1, plus an additional d6 of necrotic damage. Additionally, you kind of feel, it's not a voice, it's not like this isn't like a, you know, a cursed haunted weapon or anything, but you feel kind of like a tugging inside of your brain, kind of specifically, that you could mix with your own kind of heritage and like latent power in your blood that has kind of like given you some small abilities to like read minds and affect people's minds. You think that you could essentially somewhat link with this weapon. Once a day you can cast fear with it, but as you're kind of like getting a feel for the weight of this, and I mean weight in multiple ways, you hear the alarm bells ringing across the city. What is Delicate Hammer doing? What's Delicate Hammer's response to all the bells and stuff going on as well?
Delicate Hammer has essentially just started to look around with innocent curiosity. He has likely not even noticed the reactions of the others. He is surprised by the sound, but not in any sort of shocked way, just innocent curiosity.
Jorvin, what's going through your head?
I think there's initial kind of panic, but Jorvin's taking to the kind of new responsibility better, and he's glad that he's now handed this over. He's now got the chance to enact some actual justice. So he's shocked, but kind of gleeful at the thought of Swifty running in with a giant fuck-off mess, basically. So.
And Swifty, what's going through your head as you're kind of both hefting this maul and hearing these bells again?
Not much. There's a little bit of wind in his ears because he is already sprinting. But there's not really much going through his head. Instant response is just charging straight forward with a loud roar, and off he goes. Nice.
Salryn, you're kind of in the heart of everything. You are in the barracks. You kind of just, you had just reported in with Zoran, and this Aurelian scout had come in saying, army incoming, army from the north on foot, to stations, and basically just like running around, clearly frantic. What do you do?
Sophia's still behind me, isn't she?
Yeah.
I turn to her and just go, all right, congratulations, you've been promoted.
Okay, to what?
Second in command, you want to do it?
Do I have a choice?
No.
Okay, yes, sir.
Okay, that's a good start. So you get everyone that you can, all of the Sun Shields, the Moon Shields, everything. We need everybody. Everyone needs to be on this.
Okay.
You would know, I think this would have been kind of not only part of, you know, your general briefing from being in the city guard, but also, I guess, from your time in the Vashaganaya, because, you know, let's face it, even though you would have been there to guard a city, you're going to be briefed on how to also take a city, just in case. You obviously know from previous where they had attacked the mangonels on the walls, there's only really kind of like one section of the walls that is favorable for an army to attack with siege towers and things like that, which is where those mangonels in. It kind of bows inward, kind of creating like a killing field where an army would have to go in. But you would guess that given the fact that, one, tactically, you probably know that's the most tactically sound part to attack, and two, the fact that they had specifically attacked that part of the wall earlier this morning or last night, that is where you should probably muster the most of your defenses. But Sophia kind of gives you a hurried salute and starts running around, kind of looking for anyone with any sort of like rank within the Sun and the Moonshields, basically just telling them to go spread the word, gather everyone who can get their armor and weapons together and report.
Do you want them to report here, or are we going to the walls?
Straight to the walls.
Understood.
And yeah, everyone just fucking erupts into activity. Zoran kind of like barely like gives you a nod and is just off rushing away, dealing to his own responsibilities and duties. What do you do now?
I'm just going to head straight there now to see what's going on.
Swifty, you said you were just fucking sprinting. So you get there pretty easily. Like Hector is like just about managing to keep up with you. I think, you're just running with such fucking fervor that you like just fucking shouldering this massive maul. You see that in these kind of like 3 sections of the walls, there is one section the Aurelian Regiment have already kind of taken up positions on. The other, the Vashik and Daya, are taking, and then you see kind of someone in either one of these mercenary companies has kind of basically shunted the city guard off onto the remaining wall. And as you kind of like rush up the steps, you see a just huge army approaching. As I said, there's like forests and like ditches and things like that, all kind of like dug around the rest of the city. But you see that they've clearly focused in on this one area. They're not about to attack by any means, but they are kind of like just filing into position. And you see kind of in the distance, they do have siege towers coming as well. You see that there's a Moonshield who's 100% given you hassle before, and he's standing there being like,
all right, what are you doing here? You're not here to cause trouble, are you?
Yes.
All right, okay. Just you're hit
For those boys over there, though, this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
you see he looks visibly relieved.
Do you like my new hammer?
No, actually, it's kind of fucking terrifying.
There's something actively wrong with it.
Okay, right, yeah, we're gonna stand behind you then, if that's okay.
That sounds incredibly wise. Oh, let's bring them.
You see that there's just like a wide berth has kind of like opened up around you as you're just fucking ranting and raving about all this. Yeah, Salryn and Jorvin, you kind of catch up a few moments later, climbing onto the walls. More and more of the Sun Shields and the Moon Shields are kind of just filing up, but like they all look incredibly nervous and unsure of themselves. Like, that while the other 2 sections of walls are like literally professionally manned by people this is their lives, this is why they're in the city, your section of the wall is people who deal with drunks, people who stop petty thieves, people who've maybe never actually, vast majority have never killed. Even more of them have probably never fought properly, and Sophia kind of like comes up to you.
Salryn, do you want me to say something to them? Would you want to say something? What's I'm not. This is a. Have you seen how many people there are out there? That's a fucking hell of a force.
Yeah, but we got this, Sophia. Yeah? I need you to look really confident, okay? If we don't look confident,
Okay.
They won't be confident.
Okay.
Yeah? Best war face.
Ah!
Okay, that'll do.
I'll have what she's having.
I'll talk to him. Okay. She kind of turns to them all. I'm assuming they're all just kind of chatting amongst themselves and looking petrified and not at me at all.
Most of them are not aware that you are in control. They are expecting Taizhong to be in control, you know? And you see a lot of them kind of looking around being like,
Yeah, it was her that gave us the order. Who's she?
And was she talking to Salryn, you know?
people are either kind of confused and kind of like bewildered as to, you know, what the chain of command is here. And the other half of them are just pissing themselves because they're about to go into a massive fight.
Okay, listen up. Sun shields, moon shields. All eyes on me. And I pull out the crest thing.
Yeah. And you see kind of like, it takes, you know, 30, 40 seconds, but like kind of like ripples go through the crowd. And eventually, you know, hear like,
Oh, she's got the script.
What happened to Jean? Where's our commander? Where's the Lord of Night and Day?
Where's she?
you know, people like elbowing each other and shoving each other, being like,
Shut up. We're gonna find out. You know.
So, Taizhong, he's not here anymore.
why? Where is he? What's going on?
Is he dead?
He was a coward. I'm sure all of you already knew that. He ran away.
Is that an order? Are we to run away too? Why is he running away? If
No, because you're not cowards. I'm not a coward. I'm here in front of you. Did he ever stand in front of you? Did he ever walk side by side with you? Did he ever grab the drunks off the street with you?
And you hear a lot of like murmurs of like, you know, all kind of agreeing with you.
Well, I'm here. I'm gonna fight here, and I'm gonna fight here for the last brick of this wall, and I expect you all to do the same. Daya is in our hands. It's your home, right? That's why you're all here. It's maybe a home that you've had since you were a kid, or it's a home that you've adopted, but it's your home. And now it needs you. It needs me. It needs all of us. So, as long as I'm fighting, and Sophia's fighting, I expect you all to be fighting too. Understood?
Give me a persuasion check.
With advantage, because I've got the...
With
thingy.
advantage?
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on, Salryn. Okay, let's get 18.
18. You see a flurry of cheers goes out from the crowd. Not one of them are like saluting or anything. There's no discipline here. This is just these are the people of the city. These are people who maybe last year were just bakers, vendors, you know, weavers, you know, just the normal everyday people of the city who've maybe just changed professions, or maybe they've been guards their entire lives and they've walked these streets and have dedicated themselves to keeping it safe. And your words, you know, reach out to them, and kind of you see everyone kind of like calm themselves and steel themselves a bit. And as you're giving out this speech, and you know, you start issuing orders, and you know, you have like Sophie is like, you know, receiving like reports from different like unit commanders and things like that, and getting people into position. You all see movement from the forces outside the walls. You know, you've taken like 30, 40 minutes to kind of gather everyone, give speeches, everyone's running for equipment, things like that. Jorvin, you see that there are a group of archers kind of like looking a bit like bewildered and confused, but kind of like one of them runs up to you, seeing that you have a bow too, and is like,
Our commander hasn't appeared. We don't know where he is.
and because you're clearly decked out as a noble, and they're like,
Are you here? Are you going to give us commands?
One moment. Salryn! They need commanders. What do you want me to do with them?
I mean, I'm kind of busy here, Jorvin.
I never had to do anything myself.
Hey, look, you've got the garb. You're a lord or something, right? Well, be lordly.
Yes. Right. Let's fuck them up, men. Let's go. I think.
And you see that they're kind of positioned near where the mangonels and stuff are as well. And Swifty, you see that this guy who was talking to you earlier kind of turns to you and is like,
or do you need, like, should we just say out of your way, or do you want to, like, do you need a hand when things start? Like, we've seen you in action, and, you know, it took 11 of us one day to take you down, but, like, I don't know what help we can be.
Well, I think the best bet is I'm going to be flying amongst them with my hammer here. There's going to be bits of them flying everywhere, and some of those bits are still going to be alive. So if you could just make sure they're no longer living, anyone I don't get. But don't stand within, like, 5-10 feet of me at any point, because this new hammer has some power in it, and I'm not necessarily going to be using that with any degree of restraint. You understand me?
Yeah, no, absolutely no bother. Yeah, we'll be well away.
Also, I've never fought in a battle before, so I don't really know how to tell the difference between. I mean, I've sort of fought in a battle a bit, but I have not got any training. So basically, one guy looks like another guy. You know, to me.
No. So, like, yeah, you see the way we all have uniforms and all wearing the same color.
Yeah.
Don't attack people with the color.
I'll do my best. I can't make any promises.
Right, we'll stay away from you.
I have a really narrow field of vision in this helmet, my friend. I'm going to do my best, you know. And that's all you could ask, really.
Okay.
You see, despite Salryn's speech, this particular squad of fighters is not looking super confident.
Look, it'll be fine. Look, and you know, if anyone runs away, I'll throw my axes at them. So, there we go.
So, what you're all going to need to do for me is basically take your character sheet, take your HP, and like kind of write it down somewhere. You each have basically command of a unit of your own. Salryn, you have basically like an honor guard, like has kind of formed around you. So like Sophie has kind of like requisitioned like, you know, a dozen or so people to be near you. You are going to be kind of like the, for want of a better word, like tactician of this. You're going to be kind of responsible for morale, plugging gaps, and sending squads to like support different areas of the wall. Jorvin, you're going to be responsible for range combat, so you're going to be issuing commands to the mangonels and the archers. And Swifty, your job is violence on a personal and physical level.
That's good.
So each of your squads is basically just going to use your own stats. But you're going to have a separate HP pool that is for your squad's HP. When that gets to 50%, your squad's not going to be fully as effective, so you're going to start be rolling with disadvantage and everything. Okay? So, you see the enemy forces begin to approach, heralded by a large like war horn that's kind of echoing across the walls of the city. While the siege towers are kind of like trundling along and, you know, are approaching quite slowly, the ground forces are shooting forward, people running with like grappling hooks or ladders, all kind of like covered with shields and things. But Jorvin, you reckon you can probably get a few picks on these. And for each fail, basically your enemies are going to be stronger when they get onto the wall. For each success, they're going to be weaker. So they're going to either do more damage and have better attack stats if you fail. But if you succeed, their attacks won't be buffed and their HP will be reduced when they get on. So you have this kind of opportunity first. So I'm just going to tee this first round up to you, and then it's going to be up to you guys after that to see what way you do it, okay? As this horn echoes out, a volley of missile fire, bows and crossbows start arcing over the walls. I need everyone to make dexterity saving throws.
Ooh, my
Deary me.
-1 is going to do well here.
17 is the thing to beat here.
Can I use my uncanny dodge if it goes bad?
Yeah, you can. Because you guys are probably... You can basically have chosen where to position yourselves on the wall, or you're maybe at the very kind of like, you know, at the front of the ramparts and kind of have cover and things like that. So yeah, you can use uncanny dodge. That's fine.
Okay, let me see. What was that? That's... Oh, 17, actually. Exactly.
Just because it's very in character, I got a 5. I'm going to say that represents Swifty doesn't duck or anything, he just stands there.
Yeah, Salryn clearly distracted, giving orders. She got 12.
Okay, so If you failed, your squad takes 15 points of damage.
No, my squad.
If you succeed, you take 7. And now, just because I'm going to keep fucking with you, this is going to be a hard battle. Everyone needs to make a Constitution saving throw, where the DC is half the damage you just took.
Okay. Yep, that's fine.
Got that,
That's
19.
17 as well.
But yeah, fine.
Great. So basically, every time you guys take damage throughout this entire fight, to basically simulate that this is a prolonged slug of a battle, in situations like this, there's so much arrows and things coming. There's going to be chances for you to take injuries and wounds throughout the course of this. But this initial volley of arrows, hits some people. A couple of people go down. Nothing too bad. Yeah, one of the red shirts just fully dies, falls over the wall.
Wilhelm scream.
Bye, Rufus.
Jorvin, you see that your unit would have an opportunity to pick off some of the ladder holders and grappling hook holders. You can either make an attack roll or use a skill to try and take these down with an order. What would you like to do?
I was going to see if I could use a combination of my acrobatics and my second story work on the walls as a combo.
Okay.
To try and get up faster towards like some of these ladders to get into like a better position to start picking people off.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's really cool. Yeah, roll acrobatics with advantage.
Grand. That is 19.
19 is a success. You see, you kind of like lead your squad up and kind of like pick the correct vantage to shoot down at their like a column's exposed flank, completely like cutting down this squad of enemy soldiers carrying a ladder. Nice. Salryn, you see that, while your speech had like a really good effect of kind of like giving everyone the initial kind of spirit to fight, this kind of like initial wave of arrows and like the blood chilling like screams and war cries of the enemies, people are looking a little bit like shaken around you. What do you do?
She's going to grab the person next to her. I'm going to put you on the spot, sorry, Dylan. And say, hey, look at me.
Actually, Kier can have this one.
Go
I'm going to put you on the spot, Kier.
Yeah, I'm going to put you on the spot. Hey, you got a name? What's your name?
Benjamin Rouge.
Okay. Benjamin, who have you got here? You have family?
Yeah.
Yeah? And they're safe in the city, yeah?
Yeah,
you
safe,
have to keep them safe. It's your job. Okay?
Yeah, okay. Okay.
And kind of points to the next people, and just kind of tries to get them to think on why they're fighting. A very specific person or someone that they're thinking of.
Nice. What skill are you going to use for this?
Probably going to have to use persuasion and burn that.
Okay. Go for it. So you kind of like walk up and down the line, kind of like addressing just person after person after person, trying to keep them personal
focused.
touch.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Can I do that on advantage, please?
You can. You have your item. Yep.
Because that was a nat one. 19 on the second roll.
Nice. Okay, that is 2 successes. That's a very good start. Swifty. Kind of at this point now, you see that Jorvin has his unit up and he's like shooting down at people. But there are hundreds of combatants just below you. And you see that grappling hooks and ladders have begun to appear over the side of the walls. There's no people just yet. But what do you and by default your scared ragtag bunch of city guards do?
Okay. How scared are we talking here? Like, is this a problem? Do they look like they're about to start running away?
No. You see that Salryn has like kind of come over to your group as well, and that's kind of given them the the morale boost to keep going. They seem a little bit more focused. They're wary of you, but they're not terrified by any means.
Okay. I think I'm going to have to do an obvious one as well here. Grappling hooks, just get these grappling hooks off the walls. Just going to run forward, heft, just try and lift them up, cut them down, whatever it's taken to get these things off the wall. Hand axes or raw physical strength.
Cool.
So,
what skill would you like to use? Or
I think I'll have to be athletics. Yeah.
Go for it. You rush forward, do that. The rest of your squad rushes and helps you as well, following your example.
Cool. I don't believe I have anything fancy apart from action surge to add to this, so I'm not going to spend that quite yet. So just a straight athletics roll.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. That's a 17 on the die for a 23.
Fucking great job. Yeah, you guys are doing really, really good. You kind of you see Jorvin, you guys have been picking off squads left, right, and center. Those ones that do make it up, the majority of them are getting either cut down or their ropes and ladders cut down before they can even get up. And Salryn, as you're kind of walking along the wall and kind of interacting with each of the squads, you see that everyone's kind of a look of realization has come across their faces, oh, actually, we're not fucked. We're doing quite well here. And then another wave of arrows comes launching over the walls towards you all. Everyone needs to make dexterity saving throws again.
Oh my. It makes sense. We're all partially leaning over the wall. We're pretty exposed.
Yeah.
That's a 1. That's a 2 minus 1.
No.
23.
12 again.
Okay. You guys are lucky. It went up to 3d8 this time, but I rolled lower. If you failed, you take 10 points of damage. So again, you'll need to make Constitution saving throws for half the damage you took. Salryn, you and your bodyguards and Sophia are right in the thick of it because you're really trying to lead from the front and kind of give examples. But this is exposing you to archer fire, and you see that an arrow's coming straight for you, and one of your bodyguards just fully dives in front of you and takes the arrow for you.
Benjamin.
Swifty, you just your guys, you're exposed. You're at the front line. The people with shields are busy trying to unhook hooks. They can't get their shields to bear. You guys take the damage. Did anyone fail their Constitution saving throw?
No.
Okay, nice. It is on to the second round then. Jorvin, people are beginning to kind of come up over the walls now. You can kind of continue shooting down, but you also now see that siege towers are approaching range of your mangonels. What would you like to do?
Ooh, okay. I'm going to try and see if I can spot even some dark corners that if things do hit the wall that some of my men can sort of hide to get a jump on anyone coming through on the siege towers. So stealthy kind of thing.
Okay, yeah, nice. Cool, yeah. The mangonels will be firing anyway, but they're kind of just following their own devices. You guys kind of take your squad and, basically essentially try to set up an ambush as much as possible, kind of baiting people to come up a certain ladder and then just fucking taking them out of it. Roll your stealth, I'm assuming.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Grand, come on. 28.
Yeah.
Hiding works, friends. Hiding works.
Swifty, you're in the thick of it. People now, despite you doing a really great job of clearing the wall, you and your squad are only so many people. There's other squads that haven't been able to do the same, and more fighting is breaking out. And you see that there's a little cluster that's kind of threatening to overwhelm the squad that's in front of them as they're pouring over the wall. What do you do?
Okay. I think we're going to do a big old battle cry and go charging at them. I'm trying to use intimidation here just to be as frightening and over the top as I possibly can. And
Yep.
could I also use my commanding presence maneuver to spend a superiority die to add a d8 onto this intimidation roll?
Yeah, so tell you what, I won't give you advantage, but I'll give you the D8.
Statistically, a d8's better than advantage. So. But I would have taken the advantage quite happily. Okay, cool. So intimidation. Okay, so before the d8, that is a 13, which isn't great.
Okay, so you need a 4 or higher.
Plus 6. So, yeah, 19.
Great. Nice. Salryn, you kind of, you're seeing all this fighting breaking out now, and, you're kind of like, you're seeing, a pocket of danger here, but suddenly Jorvin's forces kind of like break out and like shoot them from behind. Another pocket of danger, but Swifty crashes into it, kind of like scattering them over the walls.
Oh no, Swifty's throwing the corpses of the guys he's already killed back at their people to try and scare them away.
Very intimidating. All across the wall, that's 2 out of, maybe 100 different scenes that's playing out here. You're kind of sitting kind of at the back surveying everything. What do you do? How do you lead this defense?
Looking round, can I see if there's any specific elements of weakness that I can spot that maybe I can get some of my squads to go and fill those gaps?
Yeah, for sure. What skill are you using?
Perception?
You can use perception.
Yeah.
So you're basically just trying to like keep your head on the swivel, being a good battlefield commander, looking for spots.
Yeah, looking for ways, things that I can push back up towards. Let's have a look. Oh no, that was a 3. Oh no.
Okay, that's
the first fail, isn't it?
That's the first fail.
Oh no.
You see that all of a sudden there's like a bulge inwards, and you see that like there's like a champion kind of like comes like bounding over the wall, like over a ladder, and just like leads like a big charge. You obviously have like other squads in reserves. They all kind of like rush to get there. It's a little bit late. They do manage to contain it, but it's looking ropey at that part of the wall for the moment. But you are all still standing. The siege towers are all approaching closer and closer. They're almost here, and one more wave of arrows comes flying. Everyone needs to make dexterity saving throws. What is a squad of random red shirts doing at this moment, Kier?
Given how successful it's been, I think there's a group of random red shirts who have they were part of that reserve group that you that you identified. They've gone and pushed themselves in, and they are being very bravely, some might even say recklessly, throwing themselves at this champion, trying to overwhelm them.
Amazing. You see a solid 7 of them get cut down in the process, but thankfully, like at the end, like, just so many bodies are on this champion's spear that he can't effectively use it, and he gets overwhelmed and thrown back over the walls. Who failed?
Me, I rolled a 12 again.
Jesus.
Yeah, I failed as well. Rolled a 17, which turns into a 16. Yeah, you hate it, but that's how it goes.
Okay, if you failed, you take 19 points of damage. As now, it's not just arrow fire, but also there are like rogue enemies kind of breaking through that your squad has had to actively go and stop now. The fighting has really like fully begun. Everyone is in hand-to-hand combat.
More than half my guys are dead already, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
Ooh.
Okay. So
Do we roll at disadvantage now?
At this point, if you would like to willingly fail, so basically take a breather on this, you can essentially have your squad take a short rest. So they can withdraw, kind of patch up. Again, this is all kind of happening. You've been fighting for maybe like 10-15 minutes. You guys can take like another 5 minutes to kind of pull back. There are like there's like a little like triage set up with like medics and things who are like, hastily just like wrapping wounds and things like that. If you want to do that, you can, or you can try with disadvantage. That is the choice for you.
Yeah, Salryn notices that people are starting to look like scared, and there's not much that she can do with that. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna short rest.
And please all make your Constitution saving throws as well for half the damage that you took.
It was 19.
It was 19. So yeah, DC 10.
9. DC 10.
Oh. No.
Oh, sorry. 9. You're right. Yeah.
All good.
6.
All good.
Nat 1 plus 5.
Oh, put that dice in jail.
D&D Beyond. Do you know what? I'm going to start rolling my actual dice. Fuck that.
Salryn, roll me a D4 to see which area of your body is injured.
I'm doing a real dice. D4.
D4.
A 3.
A 3. Okay, you get basically an arrow comes piercing towards your like head and neck.
Oh, that's like not good.
That's the worst place an arrow can pierce.
Roll,
bad, yeah.
Roll a D6 for me, but roll 2 of them and take the higher. So basically, roll with advantage.
If you get an odd number, you're instantly killed.
6. So there's no point rolling again.
Okay, great. Thankfully, you get it's only a very minor injury. You have basically for the rest of this battle, you have disadvantage on perception checks that involve hearing. So I don't know if you're wearing like a helmet or something, but basically something has like absolutely clanged against your head. Whether it be an arrow or like a rogue sword or something, but has just like your ears are ringing, you can't hear properly, and you pull back to take a short rest. So that is straight up 1 failure in this round. What are the other 2 of you doing?
Okay, now feel free to tell me if this is.
Oh no! Yeah, bring the bullshit. Bring the bullshit.
There's no way Swifty would pull back. He's just not thinking about that. That's not happening. I want to. I can see mechanically that's the correct move, but that's not what I'm going to do. So I remember, several episodes back, there were those big aqueducts that we used to get in. Are they anywhere nearby? And is there water in them?
The aqueducts would not be nearby, but there would be, again, like, there's a lot of like water barrels and stuff up here because you have medics up here who are like just giving people water to coming for refreshment, or they're using it to like wash wounds and things like that. So there'd be like a number of buckets of water around.
The way I'm picturing these siege towers here, I'm guessing that they're being hauled across the ground. They're big enough so they're getting over our various trenches and stuff. Big wheels or like logs or something, right?
Yeah.
So I'd like to do a survival roll. Just to see if Swifty has the idea of just trying to get as much of the water we have in these barrels as possible down in front of the walls to try and turn the ground muddier to slow these things down.
Fuck it, yeah! I like absolute peak D&D bullshit. Sure, yeah. I love that.
I think Swifty is like, he's not smart, but he does a good sort of combat intelligence. So. Survival.
Roll survival.
Sure. And this is a disadvantage.
I was going to say, if you wanted to use something like Second Wind or something to try and bring your HP back up before you did this, I'll allow that.
Yeah, I'll try that.
That will be your Second Wind used.
Fine. I will definitely try that. So, Second Wind, Yep, so that is a D10 plus 6. I need to... Okay, this should work. Okay, 5 plus 6 for 11, which gets us to 39, which is more than half of my hit points. Fantastic. Okay, so no disadvantage, survival roll.
Great, go for it.
Okay, so it's only a plus 4, so I've got to get a 13 or higher. That's 13 exactly. Okay, cool. So 17.
Nice. You see... fully one of the siege towers just gets caught in a quagmire that's kind of just been formed underneath them. They roll over the barrels. Any barrels that had survived, they roll over, crush them, and kind of just get lodged. And you see that they start lowering down the gangplank of it. But it's maybe an 8-foot jump or something. Something that's some people might be able to jump and make it, but like effectively most of it is
Swifty is going to yell this, knowing that none of these soldiers have any context to what he means here. He's going, "We're all barrel boys today, lads." Nobody here should have any idea what he means by that.
And you see this, the guy who's been fighting alongside you, and who you've given the order to help you with these barrels and stuff, kind of looks at you and goes,
Yeah, barrel boys. Yeah. Why not? Fuck it, yeah.
Fuck it, we're all dead anyway. Good boy, Hector.
My name's not Hector.
It is today, son. Clap
Okay. Jorvin, it's up to you then.
Oh god. I'm going to do some D&D BS, I think, as well
it's
here.
The time for it.
Okay. I'm going to see if I can get my group to concentrate fire on one region for a small period of time, then run away to somewhere else so that people think that there is a gap. So I'm going to deceptively do some covering fire somewhere, then try and get the jump.
Yeah, fucking love it. Go for it.
Grand. Once we get a nat 1 now, though, on that. The area we fire at is our own men. That is 18.
18. That's a success.
Yeah.
Okay.
Salryn, look after my family. The Rouge family. Look after them.
I will. You fought bravely.
I'm dead now.
Oh, dear.
We all died for Daya.
Okay. So now this offer for a short rest still stands to people. You can, apart from you, Gemma, doesn't stand to you anymore. You've kind of used your short rest. But at this point, the siege towers have kind of reached the walls. Some of them have been taken out by mangonel fire. Some of them have, been trapped in a quagmire. You've done a really good job at kind of like stopping the initial kind of like assault of the ladder, the scaling forces. But now just fully, it's just a big old fucking melee on the walls. You're basically, each of your squads is going to be pitted against other enemy squads. We're basically just going to treat them as swarms, and kind of like as the fighting breaks out, each of you find yourselves engaged with an enemy. At any point, again, if you would like to just take a step back and have a short rest, you can do so. All the enemies, basically on the enemy's next round, will have advantage as they kind of like see you pulling back and will press the attack, but you will get a short rest out of it. You've done such a big damage that a lot of these guys are quite either injured, or there's not quite as many of them as there would have been. 7 out of 9 successes is really, really good. So basically, they're not going to be hitting nearly as hard, and they're going to be relatively easy to kill. But all of these squads start swarming out of the siege towers over the walls. You find yourselves just in the thick of it. Let's roll initiative.
With the short rest, am I able to get back any of the hit points for the squad?
Yes. Yeah. No. So your squad is going back and all taking a short rest together. So
okay.
The exact same way that you would take a short rest.
I can do it for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Do that first. Okay.
That is a 2.
Oof.
I was rolled so badly at initiative, and I have a -1 as well. So
that's actually so funny because I pre-rolled the initiative for these guys, and your enemy squad also got a 2.
Yes, because they have to jump over a gap.
Yeah.
11. I'm not rolling
18.
today.
Jorvin's at the top of initiative. You can use ranged combat if you'd like. Basically, there's people trying to get to you, and you could basically try to shoot them down before they get to you, so you can still use your arrows, or you can have some of your squad engage while the other squad goes around to try and shoot and stuff. So if you want to use ranged combat, that's also fine.
So if we were to do like half engage, would I be able to use my sneak attack for the other guys?
Yeah. Yeah, you can have your sneak attack. I think that's fine.
Okay, grand. So that's the plan. Split in half.
Go for it.
And kind of, yeah. Cool.
Because you guys got more successes than failures, the AC is not 17 this time. It's down to 15.
That is a dirty 20.
Nice, that's a hit. Roll your damage.
Cool. 14.
How many murders is that now, Jorvin, do you reckon?
It was the men, not me.
Yeah, this isn't murdering. This is war. It's different. Salryn, as you're kind of just re-engaging after pulling back and taking your breather and surveying the battlefield, a squad runs up and begins to attack you. Does a 17 hit your armor class?
Yes.
You take 13 points of damage as basically your two forces clash, but it is then your turn. And do another Constitution saving throw, DC 7 now.
20, dirty 20.
Nice, yeah. All the kind of the blows coming in are hitting armor. You're being deflected. Your guys' stamina is winding down a bit with the damage you're taking, but you're all still fighting fit. It is your turn.
Okay. I have seen all of this happen. All these people die. I've seen Benjamin die in front of me, and I'm going to go into a rage.
Nice. Nice.
So yeah, does that can that like affect my squad then? Mm-hmm. Cool. Awesome.
Does Salryn give like a war cry when she goes into a rage?
For Daya! Just like Rah!
Yeah, this kind of fervor also kind of takes over your honor guard, and you see Sophia kind of like also like lets out like a roar, and you all just fucking plow back into the enemy and start giving as good as you got, if not better.
Yeah, so should I just roll to... I'm just going to go for it, right?
Yeah, roll your attacks.
17.
17 hits?
Yeah. So 6 with the rage.
Jorvin, you see the squad that you're fighting tries to do a counterattack, but they miss on you. And then Swifty, your guys start charging towards you. With a natural 1, they miss. You see all your guys, you're kind of standing in the middle and people start charging towards you, and the fact that you're just like not even remotely scared at all, people start just kind of like avoiding you, and then just like a sea of like shields beside you, giving you and your people free reign to fucking cause havoc. It's your turn. What do you do?
Just gonna go running forward. Yeah, to hell with it. Let's use the bonus action for the feinting attack here. So obviously, choosing one creature, choosing one sort of swarm of enemies, yeah. So we're going to roll at advantage with the feinting attack. So that's another superiority die spent, if that's okay.
I don't care.
Just making sure this all works mechanically.
Yeah.
And also... let's put Great Weapon Master on that for a -5 to the attack.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I guess all my guys have great weapons. That's just a fact about us.
Yeah.
And we're going to roll advantage with the -5. Okay, thank goodness for advantage, because that's terrible. And that is 18 plus 7 -5. So that is a dirty 20.
Yeah,
in total.
Nice. That hits. Roll up the damage.
Okay. And this is just from... This is my damage, yeah?
Your damage, yep.
Fantastic. So this is 27 points of damage.
Ooh. Nice.
That's my first attack.
Oh, Schweppes, I didn't attack the second time.
Gemma, roll up your second attack there. You also have your bonus action attack too, I think, yeah.
Natural 20.
Fuck.
Oh, hey.
Nice.
Sorry to just get like...
No, well worth it. Well worth it.
So all your damage on this attack is doubled. So roll up your damage as normal, add your modifier, and then double, because I like big swinging crits.
I need to get a crit with a Great Weapon Master.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
an additional plus 20 on top of everything else. Ooh.
So 18.
Another 18 points damage.
Yeah, and then I'm going again.
Nice.
Yeah, no. No, that doesn't hit.
Okay, but you see you've basically brought your squad, the squad that's on you, and killed about just over half of their people, so they are doing badly now. You're pressing the attack on them. Jack, your second attack.
Yeah. You know what? We hit them really hard. We're sticking with Great Weapon Master. No advantage this time.
Yep.
Oh, wait a minute. 20 minus 5 is 15. 15 is the AC, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, delicious. All right. So that is just 22.
Swifty, you just fucking run and just obliterate the squad in front of you. Just fucking destroy it. And kind of have, like, you guys have a breather. Because there's one squad gone in the first round of combat, if anyone wants to take a short rest, there'll be no penalty for it on the next round.
Swifty, as you obliterate this group in front of you, and you see them sort of collapse and either fall off the wall or fall to the blades and the maul, see a splattering of blood sort of flash across the air and land upon a familiar face. And you notice suddenly, for the first time, that standing there amongst the melee is Delicate Hammer. As this spray of blood sort of splatters his face gently, he looks at you with confused eyes.
All right, you made it. Hey, pal, how's it going? You've come to the dance.
You said the war was over.
Oh, yeah, it turns out I was misinformed. Sorry about that, pal.
I see. So much death.
Yeah, it was explained to me, pal. You see these fellas over here wearing these uniforms? Those are our guys. Those fellas down there wearing those uniforms, those are the bad guys.
Bad.
Very bad. We're gonna get them. We're gonna smash them. It's great. There's no like moral issue with just unleashing terrible violence on these guys. It's fantastic. I'm having a great time.
And Delicate Hammer, very, very sort of slowly, almost lethargically, walks towards the wall and peers over and just stands there watching.
All right, be careful, lad. But hey, you do you, right? Anyway, sorry. There's like 3 guys over there who are wearing big kill me smiles. So I'll be back in a minute, pal.
Yes, enjoy yourself.
Jorvin, it's your turn. The squad in front of you hurt, but still kind of at fighting strength.
Right. Is it still kind of where half the team are sort of engaged, so...
Yeah, you can still have your sneak attack and stuff, that's fine, yeah. You're kind of like... You're using a lot of kind of like bait and switch tactics and trying to draw them out of position and surround them and stuff like that, and kind of using your like hunting instincts and to your advantage.
Okay. That is 25 to hit. 19 damage.
Nice. You bring them down to well below half. There's only a few kind of stragglers left. They're still fighting, but just about. Salryn, the squad and you will attack. They're at half effectiveness, so they're rolling with disadvantage. So, which is good because one of the rolls was a nat 20. Does a 14 hit? Okay, then you are fine, and it is your turn then.
Yeah, she's in a rage. She's mad. She's just going. She's kind of screaming at people to carry on. Okay. 11.
Doesn't hit, but you have your other attacks.
Go again. Yeah. 14.
Doesn't do it. Do you have like maneuvers or anything?
Yeah, I do, but a lot of them I need to have hit. Although I could probably go for... Oh, can I do it again? Can't I? Can go again?
You have a bonus action. Yeah.
Bonus attack, and that's a... Wow. This is going in the dice jail. I don't have one, but now I do. Get in there. I'm going to do action surge.
Nice.
I'm going to go again.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm just really pissed. I'm really angry that we keep missing these guys. 16.
Hits.
Yeah. 7.
They're still up, but they are looking incredibly hurt. Their forces are dwindling. Jorvin, what remains of the people you're fighting, do a counterattack. Does a 16 hit?
No, I'm a 17 now because of those cloves.
Oh, very nice. Yes, you see that, like,
Nice.
you just happen to find the most well-dressed unit of archers on the wall, who are all just very, very nimble and are also kind of like dodging all of these skirmishers' attacks, and they don't hit. Oh, Swifty, there's no one on you. So you can choose to help someone if you would like.
Salryn and Jorvin, who's closest? Because he'll just go for wherever the closest fighting is, actually.
Salryn's forces are closest.
Here we come. Just going to go charging up there. Great Weapon Master, no bonus action for advantage or anything. Just
Go for it.
Going for it. Oh my god, I'm rolling really well. 18 plus 7 again for dirty 20. And that is, an 8 on the d12 plus 3. So 11 plus 4, yes? Yep, so 25 points of damage on the first hit.
You smash through the squad that was on Salryn's team.
Hey!
What the fuck is
I know
that thing?
you! Can I reach Jorvin's squad for my second attack?
I'm going to say no,
Okay.
you can't. You kind of have to use your movement to get over, and then you won't be able to get back fully.
I will just use my second attack to throw hand axes down into the army on the other side of the wall.
Sure, yeah, you do that. Swifty, as you do that, as you kind of like start leaning over, start throwing axes down, you guys are all doing really well, and you kind of like, you know, you've all been able to kind of take a bit of a breather now before more approach, and like, by no means is the fight done. Like, there is still, you know, thousands of enemy soldiers outside of the walls, and they seem to like have like no sense of stopping. But you've probably been fighting now for maybe a good like 45 minutes to an hour. You know, this has been like a long slog. These kind of rounds are kind of like, you know, abstractly representing you guys kind of going back and forth and just fighting it out. Like, you see on the other sides of the walls, the Iridians and the Vashek. The Iridians in particular, whose mangonels they're on the part of the wall where the mangonels were destroyed and haven't been repaired yet. Like, the fighting is like really, really fierce there. But they're managing. They're just super disciplined and stuff. The Vashek and I kind of just fighting with a lot of like, you know, ruthless ferocity. There's a lot of commotion on kind of within the ranks of the Warlords' forces down below, and the fighting has been pretty fierce on top of the walls, right? And you haven't been able to get a good look down until now. The siege towers have been spewing forth soldiers at this point it's becoming at like an alarming rate, and now as you're fighting kind of the next waves of soldiers, these are fresh, they're clearly more experienced. These are kind of they're sending in the hardened veterans after sending in like the fresh recruits to soften you up. But on one of these siege towers, Swifty, you see that all of a sudden some of the Warlords' men seem to just be fucking willingly throwing themselves off of the gangplanks of the siege towers. Just seem to be desperately getting out of the way.
I see they've heard of me.
And you see that they're making way for like a very strange, anomalous sight, something that you're not familiar with. But Jorvin, this is something that maybe you've only heard about, you know, having lived under the Warlords' rule before. But Salryn, as you're kind of like taking your breather and observing the walls, this is something that you're gut-wrenchingly familiar with. You see barreling across this bridge, and the very air around them is like contorting with pure elemental energy. There are 4 large, brooding, thick-scaled humanoid drakes. You see that there is a large white-scaled one, a red-scaled one, a blue-scaled one, and a green-scaled. and they seem to be like walking in like perfect lockstep, and there's like just like a weird, incredible sense of eeriness to their movements and how they seem to be holding themselves. At one point seem to be kind of like all looking at the exact same thing over and over, but then suddenly they spring into action. And Salryn, you recognize this as a Lernian quad, one of the most fiercest and most deadly spellcasters in the world. 4 individual Velocaster whose minds have been linked into one unit of death and destruction. Swifty, these guys just look fucking dangerous.
Well, they look like fun, don't they?
You see, as they reach the wall, the red one raises his hand and a small bead of red shoots out from it into the middle of a squad, detonates them and burns them alive. The white one makes this like swirling gesture with its hands as frost and ice coalesces around another squad. Their movements all slow down, frost like beginning to like form on their faces and within their armor, leaving them unable to block attacks. They just get cut down by another squad. The green one lets loose a spray of acid from outstretched hands, and you see that it fully just melts away armor and weapons from a small group of soldiers, leaving them unable to fight. And the blue one just fucking straight up electrocutes a group of 5 people. And they see the 3 of you, and a lot of this kind of like elemental assault has just basically just blown a lot of the people around you away. You see, like, Sophie has been like knocked back, but the 3 of you are standing there. They see you as a threat. Salryn, they look at you in particular. You would guess that they probably have orders to take you out, having identified the weakest part of the wall and where to take it down. Let's roll initiative.